Okay, hello. I'm a bit late. I had some technical issues with starting the stream, but it seems to be working fine now. So, I'm listening to some psytrance. Feeling quite alright this morning. It's 10 in the morning here in Tampere, Finland, and I'm about to start drawing. I will increase the light somewhat here. Let's see. Is this enough, or perhaps I should... It might be enough. Yeah. So I don't know if there is anybody yet watching. Suppose I could see that from somewhere. Oh, there, I think. Doesn't really matter. I'm going to draw anyway. So, I think I will increase the light in the room a bit. The sun was shining quite bright a moment ago, but it became a bit shy. Okay, so I've been working on this now on 2 videos previously. And it's coming along fine. I think I need to I've been working on details lately, so I want to add some more shapes here. So I will pick a 0.3 millimeter liner and get to it. So, geez, I want to perhaps I should just start with a graphite and just perhaps something like that. Some kinds of tentacle things. I seem to like to do that sort of stuff for some reason. Or they could be kind of like flame kind of things as well. Sort of a swirly thing. And here at the bottom, some kinds of legs. Or the same. Or perhaps sort of spiky things. I don't know. Just try to do something rough. Don't want it to be all tentacly either. Perhaps perhaps like a the bottom of a triangle here. Yeah, I think that's nice. And how about a triangle or a pyramid originates from here, like that, and symmetrically here as well. Looks nice. I think I will commit to that. Perhaps make them precise. I have some trouble fitting ruler here under the tripod, but the bottom of the triangles could be like here under these circles. That's a bit higher, so perhaps something like that. Okay, and this is the middle point of each. And then this side touches the. How far should it? Should be a straight line. Yeah. Straight line from this point to that line. Like that. That's it. And what about this side? How about? No. Perhaps I just sort of wing it. Like that. And this one a bit more shallow. Okay, like that. And then I commit with the fine liner. Perhaps do it freehand. Yeah, do it freehand. Good practice. It won't be perfect, but that's what makes it perfect. And it won't be perfectly the same, I think. The sides will be a bit different, but you know, so it is with the human body, for example. The ears are not the same, arms may be of different length, boobs not the same size. Such is life. Okay, and then the same here. Such is the human body. I do roughly like a straight line here. And then they come from here. I don't think I need to do that with a ruler. And this a bit steeper. Like that. Okay, that's yeah. Those are not the same. I can still, if I want to, I can balance it. Yeah. Well, let's see. Let's fuck it up. Is it more balanced now? Perhaps. I think it's still not shallow enough. How about that? I think that's quite close. And then I could do here the same effect. Okay. Kinda okay. Yeah. Okay, how about some more geometry? Like, how about I will just do, like, split it in the middle. And then I will continue the line and then do like a kind of a kite thing, or a diamond, or whatever you want to call this shape. Same here. Bit lower. Like that. That's longer. And what about this one? Should I add something here as well? Just want to kind of like break these straight lines. They are a bit boring. Or is my mind only boring and bored to experience anything like that? Perhaps like a spike? Or I think something like this. And like that, or like that. Perhaps just like that. Let's try that. How long? About. Is that good? Bit more. And then the same. Something like that. Or should there be tentacles? No, just too many tentacles. Okay. So we have some more geometry now. Should I? I think I will also. I think that's about the middle point. So I will do something like this. Like that. I need to rotate the paper a bit to draw well. That is well drawn. Okay, so I added some stuff here. How about I will put some more lines over there. Where's there? There's my 0.1. I think it's one of my more used fine liners. Okay. It's nice. Like that. Adding some more architecture. And how about, let's do some of those tentacles now. Could it be like a bit different from normal tentacles? So how about I do like leaves? I did some leaves in my last completed drawing, and I kind of liked doing leaves. Could I put some leaves in here? Why not? Why couldn't I put some leaves? So, Something like that. I don't know if that's a leaf per se, but let's call it a leaf, and then I will do like a kind of a fold kind of thing here. I like to do those, and I will make it a bit more like three-dimensional by doing something like that, and it will have like these kinds of things as well happening here. And perhaps there's another line that continues from here and perhaps more sort of vertical lines here. Yeah, well, there we go. There is one thing. Should we put a similar one on the other side? Why not? Let's see how similar it will be. I will just do it very differently and very freehand. Let's put a tentacle thing here, or like a three-dimensionality, like that, and then it curves like that, and we have the middle line there, and then we have these things here. And like that. So we have kind of like symmetry here. What then? How about those actual tentacles? So I will start one that starts sort of behind this one here. And how about inserting some leaf or whatever like things there? Could have like little branches coming off with some things. That's another one of those as well. One day I will learn to draw actual leaves, but for now I just do some weird shapes and call them that. Okay. And let's put another weird shape here. How about we just make it like a bulbous round thing and a little one here. Okay. There's more stuff there then. How about we put something here then for balance sake. Yo, yo, yo. I have some pizza waiting for me for lunch. It's a pizza I made myself soon a month ago, and I froze it. Basically, I made my own frozen pizza to be brought to life whenever the munchies strike. So today, after this stream, I will be eating the last piece of that. Hello, Foxy Arctic, if that's how you read that. Talented? Well, thank you. Glad you think so. Often it just feels like I'm struggling, but I will push on. I think it will be a really nice drawing in the end, but like sometimes it just takes faith to keep soldiering on. But thank you for the encouraging words. Let's do the flamey things here. I will just like kind of like do something rough with single lines, and then I will combine them. Let's try doing something like that. So like now I will start to put more shape to it, and then I can sort of then make them interact with each other. There is one coming from here. And perhaps I should just like do it even more wild. Let's do it wild. Silence the critical layers of the mind. Be quiet, critics. I think I'm going a bit too close to the edge of the paper, but that's where it is at, so deal with it. I just find it best to do things sort of quick and dirty first and then refine it. Just they're a bit too uniform for my aesthetic taste. But I think I can add contrast in other ways later on with line thickness and different dimensions. Okay. And I think perhaps like if you feel sort of frustrated about what's happening, then perhaps it's a good idea to then do something else. I mean, I'm not going to just stop drawing right now, but what I mean is just move on to some other part of the drawing. If the part you are working on isn't sort of speaking to you. So I think I will just let that be and work on it later. So what should we work on now? I think I will go back to the middle. And I just got this feeling or inspiration. I want to like fan out sort of things from here. Should they be like that? And they turn around here. So I just want them to like leave at a sort of a 90-degree angle in relation to this line here. Yeah, I think that will be nice. I will do that. I will do something like that, yeah. So I will first just do the guiding lines, so it's easy then to do the ink. And this is like sort of horizontal, and then yeah, like that. And then they can, should they like reach all the way here? I think I will reach all the way to these lines with them. Okay, and then the same here as well. Oh, so like that. This is pretty much how I usually work. That I just get ideas while I draw, and then I'm like, oh, how about I try to do that? And like sometimes it works better than others, but I think being like curious like that and trying different things, that's how you learn, and that's how you sort of like discover your own style. That you just explore different techniques, different ideas, and it's only like that you can like really develop your own style. If you are going to just like play it safe and always do things the way other people do them, then yeah, that's no good in a way. Like, you can do that if you want, but if you want to find something fresh, then it's probably not a good idea. So I will first like kind of sketch it out, and I will later perhaps also the frequency of the lines should increase towards the edge, so that will also like give it this sort of a three-dimensional feel. Yeah, that's a really good idea, and this spherical feel. So I can make the lines thick, you know, there are more lines towards the edges later on. Okay. Yeah, hey, this is a nice idea. I like this one already. Okay, and then same for the other side. Oh fuck! Yeah, it's supposed to go like that. Yeah. How about I do it like this? I doing it roughly the same way. Then later on I can I can make the lines more precise, their direction and all kinds of things if I don't right away do them very thick and defined. That's the benefit of doing them weak like this at first. Okay, and it also looks nice. Okay, and then I will make them a bit more frequent towards the edges, like I said. You can also like add finer lines. Okay, how about I do the other side? Yes, and then here as well. Hello, 1Q. What a username. Congratulations. How are you doing today? How is everybody? If you feel like chatting, go ahead and I will try to keep up. Yes. You know, I'm setting up like a online store to sell my drawings as shirts and prints and so on. So there is a strong possibility that this drawing as well will eventually be available, so you can wear it probably eventually if you feel like it. Yeah, trashy nickname. Yeah, yeah, it certainly is trashy. Yeah. Okay, so I kind of like have that sort of worked out what I want to do there. Perhaps I don't need to work on those details. I could do something here. What should I do here? I think they should be perpendicular to these lines, so there is nice contrast there. Or how about like that, and like that, and then I can do something wonky, like something I've done a lot is just do circles, lots of circles of different sizes. So let's do that here as well. I like to do that. It's just very fractally sort of a thing. So the idea is that there is an area that I fill with circles, and the circles just get smaller and smaller, obviously, because like I have to like fill in all the cracks. So I will use a finer liner here. So that's roughly the effect. I will later on make it even more precise. Do I only work with fine liners? No, I also use graphite pencils for like sketching, but like the finished work is made only with fine liners. Yeah, I have thought about using colors. I might get like wooden coloring pencils at some point and start to experiment with that. But for now it's been this black and white style that I've been doing. It's just so simple. So simple to do black and white, but like I'm enticed by the idea of adding the dimension of color to my art, because like if that would be part of an art piece from the beginning, then like it might be like really cool. And once I just start to learn how to use colors, combine them, something that I just need to get into. So you might see me doing that at some point. Yeah, well, thank you that you like it. Or that's a weird thing to say, like, thank you that you like my art. But like, I appreciate that you see value in it. Do you yourself art? Do you draw or do something creative yourself? Okay, so I did, oh, I forgot to, I did it different. I had those lines there. Huh. Well, I could make them black. So in that case, I can just do it on top. So I will make it symmetric. So like that. See, there are almost always ways of like working on something after you've committed to it already, or however you want to put it. So in this case, I want to have it, this feature, I want to have it symmetrical. So I found a way to do it. You can just cover things with black. So same here. Yeah, like that. Okay. What about here? Do I want to, like, in these white parts have similar sort of detail work going on? Like, not the same, but like, how about like some grit sort of a thing? And what kind of detail will I have there? Let's see. I will take a 0.05 fine liner and start to just jam here. I will do like squares that work. Yeah, that's it. Yeah, I like this one. That's the idea. That's going to be really cool. Yeah. Yeah. And something perhaps different here. Let's do some round shapes. It doesn't have to be circles. And they can also come on top of each other if they like. Okay. And kind of same here. Yeah, and I think I want to add some black here and there. The overall idea is to kind of like define it little by little, so you don't like right away commit to one idea, that you just add layers and then you give the piece space to breathe. That's how I like to work myself. How about here, like lines like that? And also, like, one cool thing I've noticed is that when you use a lot of detail, then like small inaccuracies or mistakes or so on, they don't really matter. You know, like there's just so much to pay attention to. So like you should like be aware of this psychological factor in like how a human being sees things. Even still, I try to like make the fine details really accurate. So if you pay attention, then you will, it still works, but I try to not waste time either sometimes in working too many details into my drawings. Some more details. Let's put some more of those rectangles here. Rectangular geometries. And how about here? Perhaps like a single circle with something. Like they could be like eyes. I like to do a lot of eyes in my artwork. Just something that draws the eye in, you know. We like to see eyes in things, or it can also be creepy, but there is a little reflection there, perhaps then just the pupil. Okay, and then what about here? How about like something like this? Okay, so I think that's sufficiently detailed now for now. This area here, then these things here. What I thought earlier, like after yesterday, about the middle is that I think it's a bit too dark, like from what I originally went for. So then to contrast that, I want to not make the surrounding area too dark, right? So I will try to use restraint here. no guarantees if that will work, but anyway, let's put some ink there. I like this shape here. I like this music that's playing in the background. So if you like, I thought that I would like make it sort of a thing that when I have these streams and I'm listening to something in the background and it's from YouTube, it's publicly available, and I will link it and you can listen to it yourself. So in this case, it's this psytrance set by this DJ called Saffin from Heijastus Festival 2025 in France, and it's hosted by Xenon Records, which is it's a nice record label, and they have a lot of times these really good DJs and sets that I like to listen to. I will put some shading here already because I feel like it. Okay, and then what about these shapes here? How about something like that? Just kind of like the inside is like sharp or something, and then the outside kind of as well. Yeah, that's nice. This is really worn, the tip. I think I need to buy fresh fine liners, especially these really thin ones. They just wear out fast. Actually, I'm using the 0.05, so that's too thin for this. Okay, so I will put some horizontal ones here as well. So like this. I like to do such things. Do what you like. That is so important in life. Like, find out what you like and just do things from that place. Then I will put some more like black here, like that. And what about these shapes here? What do they want to be when they grow up? Let's see. I will add some more like shading on the outside right away. Let's just see what happens. Like I really don't have an idea of where this is going. I don't know how it looks or what you think about like what's going on here, but I really don't like have a plan. I haven't planned this out. I'm just winging it. I stopped to think, but like, I don't do it too much or too long. And it is a process. It's definitely a process. So one choice adds definition and makes it easier to continue. Hello, Shiroboki. Yeah, thanks for dropping by. You have a good day as well. And a new sub. Well, look at that. I hope you come again and introduce yourself better and whatever. I hope you have a good day anyway, and thank you for popping by. Let's do something like that. Like some definition here. What does it want to be? Like how about like some scales? Like hexagonal shapes. It's really difficult to do like hexagons or something like that freehand. It's like really challenging. I will Do something like that. And then it can be defined later on. And you know, like there is always covering something with ink. You can always result in that? No. What's the verb there? Well, you know, you can default to it, let's say. Revert, perhaps. Yeah. There are always ways. Even when you use ink. Yeah, I like that. I like that idea. So I think we have this defined now well enough for now. Okay, so you started working, watching guides. Yeah, yeah. It's I've been like actively drawing only this year, and like I have really big like perfectionist problems that I've been dealing with in my life. But doing this kind of artwork where you do repetitive shapes and you just work spontaneously, like it has helped me break sort of a spell of being stuck, you know, artistically. So I really recommend mandalas and such things if you are struggling with self-criticism. Okay, I will make this double line a bit thicker. It's a sort of a vulva shape, you know, vagina. This is sacred geometry sort of a thing that you, the B says something like you you have intersecting circles and then you create this sacred geometry thing. So that's what we have here, a sacred geometry thing. You can quote me on that. So how about these things here? What do we want to have there? Perhaps something like that. That's kind of like obvious. How about like that? I don't know. You've been trying to deal with attention span. Well, like really, like just bring the bar really low. So, just checking if I have battery. Yeah, I have battery in my camera. So, like, just decide that you will draw at least 5 minutes. And you can try to do that every day or whatever. Like, just negotiate with yourself in such a way that, like, it doesn't stretch you too far. Doesn't make you too uncomfortable, but you still do a bit of it. Then little by little you develop your attention span and all that. But don't start too like hard right away. You can break something if you do that. So anyway, I was thinking of how about we just do something like that there, and like I kind of like try to all the time be as imaginative as possible and not keep repeating the same things. But whatever, I will do whatever now. How about this? If this would be kind of like black. I think I will. This is something that I've done before as well. Like I take turns with like kind of horizontal and vertical things. And then like here, this window sort of a thing then could be like almost totally black. But let's put something there, like something like that. I don't know what it is, but I don't need to. I just put something there in the darkness. It could be an eye. let's make another eye here. So, or eye-like thing, and I think I will then just do the black. Ah, like balls. Yeah, yeah. I totally like biological things sometimes come into my drawings, and the pen control. Like yeah, like it's really cool. Like it has been really cool to see it develop as I've just kept working. And it, like, believe me, 1 year ago it can't have been anything close to this. But like I'm in a point where I can sort of like let the hand do its thing. I don't need to worry too much about it anymore, or be very careful. And it's about trust as well, that you kind of like, you have trust in the process. You've just seen it happen so many times, and you've also worked on just accepting any result that comes out of it. Like you can always start a new drawing, but the most important thing I think is just to do something and like finish most of the things to a certain degree. And with time, your technique will develop and your style will develop, and you will probably, if you stick to it, become more and more happy with the end results. Okay, so then we have this black thing here, black window, and then do the same roughly on this side. It can be a variation though. Let's start it different. So here I started by limiting the area from the edges. Just a second, where did I put my socks? Oh, there they are. Oh. Yeah, okay, your friend is wise to have said that. So, yeah, like, just do something very simple. Like, also one really good tip, good thing that works is that, let's say you give yourself 1 hour or 15 minutes or whatever, some arbitrary amount of time, and that is the amount of time you have to create a finished piece. So like I sometimes do art as presents. So I have a friend has a birthday, and then I just, on that day, I might decide that I will do a quick drawing as a present, and then I might have like 1 hour to do it, and then I do something like this, but I just do it very quickly, and that's it. That's a really good exercise. I totally recommend that to anybody. And I might do something like that as part of these streams as well at some point, that I just do like a finished piece in one stream. This is one of those pieces that just takes a long time, but I like doing those kinds of drawings as well. So anyway, I started by limiting the area from this side first. Here it was from those edges, and like that and like that. And I think now the window is close to the same size, so now I think I will do the same kind of a round thing here, and let's give this one 3 legs. Because why the hell not? I am the god of this creation. I do whatever I want. Like that. And then we, why do I say we? Then I will... I like to sort of associate anybody watching this with the process, so I'm using the we then, I think, for that reason. Then the black. So really, like, important thing is to save the idea. Like, let's say here that I just want this to be black, the background of this window, and then I just do it roughly. So I have saved the idea, and then later on I can finalize it. But I've committed to that idea. Then I move on to something else and keep the flow going. You don't want to like get stuck on one thing for too long usually. Like that I feel and I know that it hampers, it limits my creativity. Okay. Church window. Like this, I think that's what you mean. 2 tips of the arrow like top remind me of psychedelic trance vision. Yeah, I don't know if you mean this. But yeah, like I sometimes have this mosaic sort of glass puzzle thing shapes in my works. I will actually, perhaps I do this sometimes in these streams, or I might do it every time. I show one of my finished drawings. So just a second, I will take my archive, and because I have not really published this yet, so you probably have not seen this before. So this is my last finished piece. It's one that I'm really happy about, and it's called Fy Kerstin. There was this woman that I dated just a short while back, and like it was such a beautiful meeting of souls. And early on in the creation of this drawing, I decided to dedicate it to this woman. So that's why it's called Fy Kerstin. So it's for Kerstin. Like Fy Elise, there is this, I think it's Mozart's piece. So that's like the idea I had, that I will use that same format in German to dedicate it to her. So I created this while we got to know each other. So I think you can sort of see the sorts of things that I experienced during that relationship. Like this is more sort of alive and organic than anything I've done before. I think it's really beautiful. So like that relationship was like really, really important to me, a really beautiful thing for me. So yeah, and I will, actually I got a few shirts with this already, but I'm trying to set up the online store as soon as possible. And yeah, but that's what it looks like when I like really finish something. So I'm really happy with that. So back to this weird thing. You know, you really don't know what it will end up being like. Like you can look at it and it looks like, honestly, I feel that it looks a bit dirty, you know, like there are these sketchy parts that are not finished, and it's like, you know, like a part of me might be like, I just want to give up. and not continue with this because it's just not, you know, like, seems not to come together. But there have been just so many times that I have had that experience, and I've just kept pushing on. And at some point, the things just start to come together, and I'm like, holy shit, this is really cool. I'm really glad I kept working on it. So it sort of tests your faith a lot of times. And you need to be brave with working on it. You don't need to, but that's a choice. Like, you can stick to it. You can do something else as well, if you like. I have drawings that just I haven't finished. That's fine. Q monsters. QU monsters. Yeah. Yeah. I really like to dedicate things to people, like the birthday presents that I mentioned earlier. It gives me some reason to do art. Or for example, these streams. So I use them to motivate myself to keep working. So what was I going to do? I finished that one. So let's expand. Like, this is something that I just like has felt sucky for a long time. So perhaps I want to make that arc work. Yeah, I really wish you good luck with your own art journey, and perhaps one day you can share some of that with me and other people. Like, remember that it's a journey. So like, you take one step at a time when you are on a journey, and you just try to make that meaningful for yourself. Do it for yourself. Do it in some way that works for you. Find things that speak to you, shapes that speak to you, and that's how you create it into something that you want to keep on doing, and that will look like you, right? I hope that makes sense. For me, that's just so important to work on things like that. Let's just put lots of ink there, and perhaps it'll start working at some point. Famous last words. This really feels really dangerous. Like, is this? That's like here. Oh yeah, this is a bit further away. But like, how about I just fucking own it? It's just asymmetrical like that, and that's it. Let's just own it. And do these lines here. Yeah. And my art journey is definitely not over, and it's an ongoing process. Like that. Perpendicular, that's the key word. Like that. That's not totally perpendicular. Well, that's it then. The drawing's ruined, everybody. We'll start again now. Okay. This is the new drawing. Just stupid joke. You can definitely credit me and quote and do whatever thing like that. If you attribute something to me, then I would appreciate that. I really would. I really liked if I can collaborate or if I can be visible in what other people do. You mean come back to this? Or I think you probably meant this one. Yeah. Or I don't know, perhaps you like that other one more. So again, I do these broken lines first. And they could like, yeah, I think like in hindsight, I want to have them curve as well. So let's see if I can still bring some of that effect here. They can be both curving and non-curving lines. Because again, I can do whatever I want with this. Like remember, I think that's like that should be like just taught to every art student or whatever. Like it's your goddamn art. Do whatever you like. And like once you really internalize that, then I think only then you become an artist. That you become free to create what you want to create. If you don't have that, then it's dead. It's just dead. Nobody is going to respond to that. Nobody wants to see dead art, I think. I don't like to see dead art. I think I might get sort of topical or whatever, or ruffle some feathers, but like pop music, for example, stuff you play on they play on radio, that's like very calculated. I think that's not alive. It is something created as a product first, and perhaps art second, if even second. So like, it should be a goddamn reflection of your soul. So see, again, like I'm starting to just jam here and do these kinds of swirls. Yeah, that's nice. Make that a bit thicker. So this is how it works when it works. It's just like, let it take you on a journey. So that takes practice. But like, if you keep working on it, you will have more and more of these moments when you are not in control anymore. It just, it takes you somewhere. It starts to have a life of its own. And that's really cool. I think I've started to have more and more of such experiences over time as I've practiced. And like, it can help sometimes to be intoxicated. So if you have some substance that helps you relax, then you can experiment with something like that. I think like in long term, it's not a good idea to depend, like overall in life, on being inebriated, but it's something that can teach you something, can show you different states. Like I've been using psychedelics for a long time myself, so I certainly think that psychedelics have helped me to find new states of consciousness or states that I have forgotten, and that I have then, like for example, right now I'm not intoxicated, I'm not high on anything except life, man. But I think my current state is also a result of all the psychedelic experiences that I've had over the years. Like I can just sort of naturally access states like that because of all those experiences. So I'm doing sort of leaves here now all of a sudden, instead of just isolated lines. Or feathers, I don't know, something. I'm doing something here. Or is it I who is doing? Is it some egoless spirit thing? Music. What genre of music do I usually play? You mean like listen to myself, or you mean that what do I play with an instrument, or what do I make? Mostly I've made metal. I have also done some acoustic songs or whatever, but mostly it's been metal. And that's also mostly what I've played with guitar. I think I want to add some black there. Cut orange, this one. Yeah, I see what you mean. Yeah, that's true. Okay, let's add some black. Bigger, thicker pen. Black is so important, or you know, like in general, contrast is so crucial. It just makes both ends of a spectrum stronger, and that's why it's so important to practice restraint and not like make everything gray. Like you need to leave contrast for maximum effect. And like that's something that, speaking of music and making music, that I have, it's like a universal skill that I've been practicing for a long time, I think. And when I started to draw, I think the reason I in some ways progressed so fast was that I already had this intuitive, hard-earned skill in contrast, for example. And I just kind of like, I'm like, oh, I can do that to make it even more powerful. And then I just bank on all these different characteristics to create maximum effect. So here, for example, just contrast between black and white. So the shapes just stick out more when I do that. Again, like very rough at first. I think we are probably nearing the end of the stream. I'm starting to get hungry. So far today, I went out to create a video where I speak in Finnish about inspiration. So that's going to be out later today, probably. And yeah, I did that almost right after I woke up. And then I came back and I had scheduled this stream, so like I didn't have much time, and I made myself a smoothie and then I just started to draw. So I've just had a smoothie and it's like nearing noon here. So I'm like starting to feel like I need to eat something heavier. Add some shading here. Yes. Perhaps some more detail here. We have these foldy thing happening here. And then they can like do that. That's cool. They overlap like that. That's really nice. I like that. Pa 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 pa. And da 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 da, and do 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 do, and da 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 da, and da 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 da, or da 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 da, like that. And perhaps define them more. Commit to the idea. That's also like a sort of a guiding principle in how I create art these days, that you first do it a bit lightly, and then when you just kind of feel confident with it, then you commit to it. You go all in, you take out the inky pen and do the icky thing. And this will be like a kind of like ear or a shell kind of a thing, like it gets darker. That's nice. Okay. And then this side, same. We commit, or I commit, or whatever, something commits. Like that, and then I do some of that swirly idea here as well. It's not quite the same, but that's fine. All right, thank you, Shiroboki, for being here, keeping me company. You have a good day there, and I really hope to see you again. Honestly, it was really pleasant to chat with you and speak about art. And I also, regarding that, like, I really hope that you will start to draw more regularly and find joy in that. And perhaps one day you can share some of that with me as well, and with other people. Okay. That's like one of the best things about doing these streams and so on. Like, sometimes it feels like there's nobody there and nobody cares and blah blah, but like, it's just encounters like these that just like make it worth it. And yeah, thank you for that. A pleasure. Okay. I think that's probably good for today. That's a good bit of work that I accomplished here. So like, There it is a bit closer. Yeah, I'm feeling good about this drawing now. It's starting to gain depth, and there are these ideas that have some freshness to them. I think the important thing is to just, especially in the beginning, to work with a light feel and flowy feel, and let it take you somewhere that it's not so familiar to the usual. If you try to like sort of constrict it and control it too much, then you just like suffocate it and it dies. It becomes just this rational exercise of like neurotically with tense hands being careful not to make a mistake. And that's not fun. And for you to like to do something, I think it needs to be fun. Like a game. Right? So keep having fun. Keep doing your thing, keep being inspired, and yeah, thank you for watching to anybody who was here live or will watch this offline, and hope to see you again really soon. Bye bye.